Hi everybody, I'm Dawn Meifert. Thanks so much for joining me on Here's the Deal. So we are 25 days away from the election. The second presidential debate happens tomorrow night, and they're running ads like crazy in battleground states that are completely misleading. I've had a lot of emails in the last several days asking about the auto rescue, Medicare, Medicaid, Romney's tax cut. Where does this leave all of us? So there are 4 talking points that I want to go over today to try to make this really clear, not only for you, but maybe family members that you have in one of those battleground states like Ohio or Iowa. So let's start with Medicare. So Paul Ryan can't help himself. He keeps repeating the same claim that President Obama is cutting Medicare by $716 billion. Well, this guy is not only a liar, but he's a hypocrite because the Ryan plan calls for almost the same amount in cuts. But here's the deal, people. Obama's plan is cutting $716 billion from providers. Remember that. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Obama's plan, the cuts are coming from Medicare Advantage, which is a private company, and insurance companies. Whereas Paul Ryan's plan, his cuts are coming straight from those, our seniors, that are taking advantage of Medicare, which they have paid into their whole life. Now, the real problem with this distortion, and this is straight from AARP. AARP supports President Obama's plan. AARP has said the Ryan-Romney plan would end Medicare's guaranteed benefits for seniors, turn the program into a voucher system, and could raise costs for seniors by more than $6,000 a year. That's Medicare. On the $5 trillion tax cut that Romney has that he completely denied in the last debate, but as part of his plan, and if you go through it, it's written in there, according to the Tax Policy Center, in order for Romney to pay for tax cuts for that upper 1%, he's going to have to raise taxes on the middle class by at least $2,000 a family. Now, very recently, the Tax Policy Institute went through his plan with several economists, accountants, CPAs, and here's what they found. I found this so interesting. I haven't heard anyone talking about this. So Romney says that he's going to give a $250 billion tax cut to the wealthiest job creators, and he's going to do it by closing loopholes. Well, after the Tax Policy Institute went through this, if you closed every deduction available, if you closed every loophole, you still only get to $160 billion. That leaves a deficit, a gap of $90 billion. Where is that money going to come from to pay for that tax cut for the super wealthy? It's going to come from you and I in the middle class. Now, a plan to reduce the deficit. He's promising a $5 trillion tax cut. He's promising a $2 trillion increase for military. Let's be clear, the military has not requested this money. They don't need it, they don't want it, they don't need any more Ford-class aircraft carriers. So here's the real Ryan-Romney plan. Ryan has falsely pointed the finger at the president when saying that the Ryan-Romney plan doesn't even resemble what Simpson-Bowles proposed. Now, the Simpson-Bowles proposal was the bipartisan investigation in how to reduce our deficit, which a lot of Obama's plan embraces Simpson-Bowles, but let's be clear, Ryan voted against it. It almost passed, but it was 4 votes short, and one of those votes was Ryan. So when it comes to real deficit reduction, is Ryan and Romney on board? Absolutely not. Finally, the auto rescue. Let's be clear, Mitt Romney stated back when the auto rescue was happening, let Detroit go bankrupt. But what Paul Ryan doesn't mention, the state of Wisconsin has benefited greatly from President Obama's auto bailout. As a matter of fact, it would have left Wisconsin's auto workers high and dry. The reality of the fact is that President Obama's decision to rescue the American auto industry saved more than 1 million jobs in an industry that now supports more than 1 in 20 jobs in the state of Wisconsin. Since GM and Chrysler retooled in 2009, they have added an additional 248,000 jobs. That's the bottom line. If you need more tips on what's really happening and the truth around certain topics, feel free to email me at lookhere'sthedeal@gmail.com. I'm Dawn Meifert. Thanks so much for joining me.